Hey, what's up, you guys? Alright, so I know it's been a while since I made a video, but let me give you guys a quick little update. So, right after I made the video for the Honda, I went on my anniversary with my girlfriend. We went down to LA, we had hella fun, going to Disney, going to Universal, dressing up at Disney, going to horror nights at Universal. So, we had a real fun time. And in the month that I was gone, I was learning a new tuning software for the Subaru. So now I can make it have a whole bunch of features that I'll show you later on, maybe in this video, but for sure in this series, because we're starting a new series and it's going to be making my Subaru like to 400 horsepower. End goal of the car is to make 550, but we're going to be making 400 for sure. Because with this new tuning software, I can run flex fuel. And this whole series will basically be all the upgrades and also stuff that I want to add for safeties, because now I can add a whole bunch of safeties for the car, like oil pressure, fuel pressure, AFR, lean, stuff like that. So in today's episode, we are going to be installing a brand new AEM AFR gauge and the sensor, of course. This one is the AEM Uego. I think that's how you pronounce it. Basically, it has a little extra harness that comes out that will let you data log it, which is perfect for us because we'll be able to use this for our ROM Raider logger. And I'm also going to be showing you guys how to wire in these new these I think they're called like serial connectors. This it's a DB9 breakout, or this is a DB9 breakout kit, but this is a DB9 connector. We have the harness over here that will connect it to our computer. So we're just gonna use the harness from the AEM, wire it to this, and then we'll be able to read the information from it. And then I also have a brand new gauge cluster, not gauge cluster, like new pod gauges for the Subaru. You've seen them, they're the little two ones that are like right there behind the steering wheel. So that's gonna be looking nice. I don't know what I'm gonna fill the other one with. I might just do oil temperature because I'm already gonna have oil pressure and fuel pressure and everything else like already in the computer set to a safety. And yeah, so real quick, I just want to give a shout out to my boy Michael. He's over there at Exiled Automotive. I think that's what it's called. It's either Exiled Automotive or Exiled Performance. Here's his tag. Also, link in the description to his IG. Really nice guy. Really, like, he can be stubborn when you're trying to ask him something, but he'll help you out. You just gotta pay him. But bro is a wizard when it comes to the Subaru stuff. Like, he really knows what to do when you got a big turbo, big cam Subaru. So like my stock Subaru it's light work to him. But basically, he helped me out a lot understanding the new tuning software that I use, and also he helped me out a lot with just more getting a better understanding of how these ECUs and like the whole tables work on the Subaru, because Subaru has a lot of extra stuff that not a lot of other even aftermarket computers can do. So I just want to give a quick shout out to him. So if you're in Colorado, go check him out. He'll do anything, I think, even like from domestic to especially EJs, but he'll also do like basic work like how I do, where it's like maintenance for a commuter car, or even like you got a drift car that you want, he'll come over there, fix it for you, whatever. So if you're in that area, check him out. Really cool guy. But yeah, so we have all of that we're going to be installing in this episode. And depending if we have enough time, I don't know how long it's going to take me to get everything wired up and to pass through, but I might even show you how to rescale your math now using the correct AFR sensor. So let's go ahead and stop the yapping. Let's get to work. Alrighty then, you guys. So we're here at the car, and so I'm already seeing our first little hurdle that we're gonna need to, hop over. Here's the bung that's in the downpipe, but as you can see, that sensor is pretty long. I'm hoping that it'll come like to right here, and we won't need to, push this hose over. And I hope that the AC line won't hit, because it's not. I thought this bung was more centered up, like right here. So hopefully that's all fine. We'll see in just a second. Let me go ahead and grab my Allen tool to take out that bung, and then we'll see how it's fitting. Alrighty then, you guys. So I just took out the plug for the bung here. And here's what's inside of the AFR kit. We got the actual gauge right here. And then here's our sensor. And then here's our two harnesses. This one plugs into the sensor. And then this is the one that's going to be transferring data. This is also like the power harness and stuff like that. That's where we'll get like our power and all that. So we'll be wiring that up as well. And yeah, so I just absolutely cracked my finger. My finger is destroyed. It doesn't help too. It was I broke this knuckle, so that shit just fucking sucks when this thing gets hit. And especially right now, because it's wintertime, it is absolutely freezing right now. Freezing. And it also sucks because I have no, oh my God, I thought that was my dog for a second. I have no space in the driveway. I mean, I could take this truck out, but, boss lady doesn't want me to take it out. So we're working on the street for this. But yeah, so let me go ahead. We're going to put this in, and then we're going to see. I think this harness is going to be long enough to run it into the cabin. I just don't even know where we're going to run it through. So let's go ahead and get the sensor on, and then we'll figure out where we're going to put it in. Alrighty then, you guys. So we're back here at the car. Sorry if it's loud. A lot of people are driving their cars today. But let's go ahead and get you guys all set up. Okay, so I don't know how well you guys can see. You can probably just see the very bottom of the bung right here. So, gotta take this off. It's already got some anti-seize. Make sure you don't get that on the actual sniffing part of the sensor. And let's go ahead and throw her in. Oh, fuck. Yep, that's exactly what I was worried about. The sensor is hella tall. It's in the AC line, at least right there. Let's see if I could do it like this. If you can see right here, yeah, if you can see, it's like in between the AC lines and also the oil return for the air oil separator. So we can get it on there. I just gotta make sure it's straight and it doesn't strip. So let me go ahead and get that all situated. All right, I think we're good. Yeah, we're good, boys. So looks like it's in. Yeah, it doesn't hit too bad. I just hope that the hotness from the hot side of the line doesn't fuck with it, but I mean, I'm sure it's fine. So cool. So we got that all sorted. And now we're gonna have to figure out where we're going to route it. So if I'm looking, there's really not, well, there's a grommet on this side, I think, because this is where the main harness goes into the ECU. Yeah, there's a grommet there. Let's see if there's anything over here that we can use. Yeah, I think we'll be able to throw it in through underneath the air oil separator, methinks. So it's a big ass grommet, so we might be able to feed it through there. Yeah, that's where I'm thinking, because I don't really see anything else on the firewall. Give me a second while I go brainstorm some ideas. I'm gonna go grab my flashlight. I'm gonna check around the firewall, and I'll be right back with our solution. Alrighty then, you guys, we're back. So I ran the wire through. I just wanted to show you guys because I brought the tool back over here. So I used this pretty long clip plier. I used that to take out the grommet for the, what's it called, for the engine harness grommet. So right here, as you can see, I also grabbed my X-Acto knife and I cut a, can you see it? There you go. I cut an X into the grommet, and then I used some silicone grease, pushed it a little bit through, then I pulled the whole grommet off, pulled it more tightly all the way through because it kept trying to pop out. Once it was all the way through, I put the grommet back on by using the silicone spray so it could go on easier. I kept pushing and pushing until it came out. It came out like right about, oh my God, you guys can't even see. It came right about back here and up. So that's where it was. I pulled it down, then I just kept feeding it through, and here we go. We got our harness inside the car now. So I know what a lot of, oh man, my hair is going crazy with this wind. I know what a lot of people do, or at least what they say to do, is like take that grommet out and just cut a big old slit in it. I don't like doing that. Honestly, that's too much cutting for me. For this car, I'm really trying to be as, let me get in here. I'm really trying to be as minimal as possible when it comes to cutting and modifying. Like the most I'll do for cutting stuff is like the radio, and even then I really don't want to do that. So we got the wire ran, and now next thing we're going to do is we're going to start taking apart the cluster area right here. Take apart this so we can slide our new thing in. But before we slide that in, we're going to get the wiring all settled for our power grounds, for the gauge pod, and also for our serial connector, because we're probably going to need to run the serial connector portion through here, because once it comes out there, usually I have my girlfriend hold the laptop while I'm tuning. So she'll hold it, and it just makes it easier for the wire to just be on this side. It's less stuff around my feet when I'm shifting or when I'm flat foot shifting, because I already have the OBD2 connector over there. So I'd rather keep it as minimal as possible for over here. So I'll slap that in, and I'll show you guys where I'm going to take the power and the ground. And also I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do for the serial connector. So let's go ahead and grab that and let's go. Also, one more quick thing before I grab everything else. I wanted to show you guys, look at how nice that looks. Like, can you even see where the harness goes? It goes up. It's not too tight either. It's got plenty of slack. It goes way back here, and it hides right behind the AOS. So I'll just add a zip tie right here so the wires don't get all loose and try to go to the exhaust, which I do plan on Cerakoting / heat wrap it, but that's for later, you know, when your boy got some more dinero. But yeah, this is the X-Acto knife I use too. I got this from like, a couple years ago from Staples or something. It's still coming in clutch. Damn, my hair is really going crazy with this wind. But yeah, man, so let's go grab that shit and then let's get to it. Alright then, guys, so instead of bringing the wiring into the car just yet, we need to actually figure out the way we're going to be wiring in our DC9 connector. So the way we're doing that is, so the only wires that we're going to need for this, for my application for tuning with the ROM Raider, so we're going to need these 3 wires, the red, the black, and the blue. So normally, if you were just going to use this gauge, just the gauge itself, you would only need the red and black. You get an eyelet. For this one, you put that to ground, and then you get a you get a ignition power switch here, and you use a 5 amp fuse in between, and then that's basically it. And then these are for other stuff, like if you have the infinity, like analog gauges and shit like that. So we're not using any of that. We need this. So this one, no brainer. I have some what are they called? I don't know what they're called. I'll show you here in a bit. But they're basically the fuses that people use, like typically for stereo. They let you piggyback off of a fuse on a fuse block, so you can put your own fuse there, and then this will be fused, and you don't have to, you know, cut into any stock wiring. That's the goal, at least. This one, simple. This will go straight into our connector here. So what I'm thinking is I'm probably gonna extend this. I'm gonna put 2 wires here. I'll crimp them. So I'll put 1 wire here that's really long, probably like, I don't know, make it like 2 foot, just so I can have enough space to find a ground, a bolt hole, probably into like the dashboard metal brace. And then the other end will come back around and go into this. And then this one I will extend just so they, and this one as well, just so they all match. So let me go ahead and get the wiring for this, and we will get started. Okay then, you guys, so here we go. I cut some wire. I actually have like a whole bunch of wire over there. I'm ready to make any harness. So this super long black one, this will be the ground strap. So that's there. And then these two are relatively the same length. These will be to the connector here. And so I think the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to hook up these to this connector now. So that way I just know where I'm going to place this in the car. And then I'll know if I need to trim these or if these are too short. And I'm not going to extend this red one because the harness is long enough that I think that if I just put this to on the opposite side of the car, there is already a 5 amp fuse, I think, on that side. I'll have to see, because I think what you can do now, because it might just pop the fuse already, because it's on the underneath the passenger side, there is a little fuse box where all your relays are, but I think those are both 15 amp fuses, which if I were to put a 5 amp fuse, it's kind of all bad because it will pop if any of the stuff on that circuit goes up to 10 amps or anything, because there's a reason why that one has 15 amps. And usually it's about, each fuse is about double what it's rated for. So like that circuit's rated for like 7, but it has a 15 in case like all of them turn on at the same time. So I might need to extend this. It all really just depends, man. I gotta look under that fuse box again and figure out which one is if there's any that is a 5 amp. If any of them is a 5 amp, then we'll be fine with this. But for these, we're good. So let me go ahead. We're gonna hook up the black wire to this for the eyelet. We're also gonna hook up this wire. Oof, yeah, because I have to hook these up at the same time. Because if not, then we're kind of shit out of luck. So you know what? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We'll hook these up right now. So how are you guys liking the quality? I know you can't see me, but you can hear me. How are you guys liking the video quality? I turned it up. It was at 1080 60 FPS, but I turned it up to 4K 30. So let me know if that looks better for any of you returning viewers. I just kind of was looking, and a lot of people just end up doing that. So I figured, you know, why not? Perfect. Let me get that out of you. Boom. So there we go. We have our 2 wires, or I guess technically 3. And like you see what I'm talking about, we'll get this and then we'll have this right here. So that'll give it some slack, and then also we can go anywhere with this, forwards, backwards, and it will be all good in the hood. And then we'll figure out if we need to extend this one. Like I said, we gotta look for the fuse. So let's go ahead and move on to our DC VB9. Jesus. So give me 1 second. Alrighty then, you guys. So I kind of just went up ahead of you guys just because I wanted to make sure I'm doing it right. So one thing I found out with these connectors is that they come closed. So I'm over here I put the wire in on the side, trying to tighten it, and it's already hella tight. I'm like, well, fuck, I'm about to strip this. You have to loosen it all the way, and then you'll see the jaw open through the hole. You put the wire in, and then you close it. So anyway, if we're going based off of what the AEM diagram says, it says that our serial blue should go into pin number 2. That is right here. Right there. Yeah, it's hella hard to see. Don't worry, guys. I'm also going to get a new camera soon. But yeah, this is number 2. If you buy the same one, I'll try to put the link in the description. You put that at number 2, and then our ground will be here at number 5. It's I thought it was this ground, but it's not that ground. It's literally this ground. So sorry about that, you guys. Fire truck came through. So here we go. Boom, boom. Then you just kind of, after you put that in, you kind of put this back in here. And you make sure you route everything correct, and then boom. It's like that. Basically, you can even have it come out the side right here. And it does come with these little plastic covers too. So I'm thinking I'm about to mess with these just so I can make it look a little cleaner. But there you go. You know, that was really short and sweet. And then I'll go into the car and show you where I'm grabbing my power and also where I'm going to be grabbing my ground. So let's go ahead and cut straight to that. Alrighty then, you guys. So we're inside the car. It's kind of cramped, just because I can't really go underneath that well because I'm on the main street, so people might hit me, but we're good. So shit, I did not bring that in here. I thought I did. Sorry if that was loud right now. I forgot this shit's all close. So I just went to the store, to AutoZone, because I don't have any rings or spades for the ground wire. So I got these right here. I don't really like these, just the color. I usually put my own shrink wrap on them, just so it looks more professional. But anyway, so if I come down here, pop this out right here, our fuse box. So, like I was saying, you probably can't see that, but we only have a 7.5 amp. So we are going to be taking, I think we're going to take the mirror one. I think that's good. Or we might take the ignition 1 or unit ignition 2, just because those are on like the edges. So it'd be easier to just put those there and then just run it out. So, yeah, I think those are good. I'm going to go ahead. I thought I brought one of those, the fuse like hijacker things. I guess I left it in the garage. So I will go get that, but we'll tear apart this whole dash, or at least this inside column. I'll get that in, and then I'll show you what we're going to be doing for the wiring. Alrighty then, you guys. So we're back inside the car. So I already kind of got started and took some things apart, like the outer shell right here. That is right over here. A little sad though. God damn, because this thing's never been off. And not this side. This side, this one's, yeah, you can see that. It was just too tight and it broke. It's literally no other way for you to take it out gently. You can't, unless you squeeze the shit out of this thing, which you might just crack the whole thing. This one was like way stucker, and it only cracked a little bit. Everything else seems fine though. But yeah, man, so we're going to be taking out these 2 screws right here on the back. Then we're going to be putting in our brand new dual gauge pod. That actually, yeah, you can see that sits right there in the center instead of other ones where it replaces the whole thing completely. So I don't know what I'm going to do about this. I might just, or the other side, I might just JB weld it and see how well that holds up. If not, I guess I'll just have to buy a completely new one. I don't doubt those are expensive though. But yeah, so I got all my shit over here. Looking at this though, I don't know where you're supposed to run the wires through. Like, because there's no holes that lead back there or anything. I mean, I could take off the cluster. It is only 2 bolts. And then I'll see if there's a way I can snake the wires back there. Because as of right now, there's nothing over here unless I take the cluster out and drill a hole. And like I already said, I am not a fan of that. So let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty then, you guys. So we got all the wires ran through the dash. We got the O2 sensor ran up. So what I ended up doing was taking out the cluster. There are 2 big holes on the back, left and right. I chose the right side because that's where the cluster harness is, and so it was easier to just have it run through there. I got them running there. They come out through the back. There's a little notch down here that makes it easier for the cluster to sit flush. So that's where they're going to be sitting. Obviously, it's not set, so that's why these are still hella long. I ended up cutting the blue and black wire because I'm going to just make the ground on this side and the power on this side, since the fuse box is right here, and I can also use a dash mount that's hiding over here. Also, I'm going to be using the 7.5 amp fuse in the bottom right. It's the only fuse in the bottom right, and that one is an ignition only switch power, so we're good with that. This is what I was talking about too, these little piggyback systems. I thought they work differently, like if the first fuse blows, then the second row just doesn't work at all, but that's actually not true. They work no matter what, because this side, the left side, that always has power, and the left side, you know, it needs the fuse to jump into the other side. So even if this 7.5 blows, the 5 will still have power, so that's cool. So it doesn't matter what size fuse you put. Obviously, if you don't want your fuse to be popping, you don't want to put a bigger one after. You want the same or lower, because then it will just pop the first fuse, which is probably the more important fuse. You feel me? So, all right, we got that all crimped up. We're about to crimp the power wire. Then I'm about to remake the black harness, the ground wire harness, and then we'll extend it over here. I think I might put it inside the glove box. Since it's only 2 wires, it should actually be pretty easy to just take it off and then close the glove box, so that way it's not in the way if my girlfriend's holding the laptop while I'm tuning. Also, I did just run in there and plastic welded these tabs. They're all right. I just need to give them a sand just so they're not caught up in anything, and probably melt this side a little bit more. But nah, man, look, they're no longer flimsy. That's hard. Same thing with the other side. Hopefully that holds. If not, at least I tried. We'll I'll clean those up, sand those, put them back in. Also, look, check out how it looks. Looks nice, right? So it still uses the stock outer shell. I think on some other companies they replace the whole thing. I think those are kind of better. This is an eBay one. It's like $20 cheaper. I would just go with the official one, because the official ones, the gauge pods, they sit out further forward and a little lower. So they might be behind like your window switch or your turn signal switch, but honestly, that's better than having it be in front of something important like your gas gauge. Or not even gas, my coolant temperature gauge. That's what it sits in front of. Over here on the right side, it doesn't sit in front of anything except like some warning lights, but those warning lights I really don't give a fuck about if it's like ABS, hill stop, and then like my 160. If I'm going fast as fuck, I just know I'm going fast as fuck. All right, enough yapping. Let me go ahead, get this all wired up. I'll give you a review over at the end, and then I'll put it back together, and then we'll go from there, and I'll probably do a little test drive. So see you in a second. Hey, what's up, you guys? We're back. So I got everything running. I got the car turned on, and boom, check it out. We got it on. It looks pretty nice, but like I said, I'd probably go with a different brand because look, when I'm going to be chilling back and whatever gauge I put here, it's going to be covering up my whole fucking coolant, and that is no bueno. I need to see that. So cool, we got this, and I also got everything all cleaned up in here. Oh yeah, check this out. So I got the serial port in the glove box, and I have enough to pull it out from here, and then it won't get in the way when closing it. I think it's caught on something on that side, but yeah. So it's long enough to reach out here, and yeah, man. So we got it nice and good, but it really goes to show. I'll pull up the laptop right now, but you like once you see, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. That the Subaru air fuel sensor is so wrong compared to like this AEM one. Like this is fast reacting. It reads it really accurately. And look at that, dude. We're almost at 15 AFR at idle. We should not be like that. We should be like stoic, which is 14.7. which is just crazy to me. And it leads me to suspect, because when I look at the laptop data, it says I'm at like 14.5. So it leads me to suspect that we are, like, the whole math scaling is completely wrong too, because of how bad the original O2 was. And, like, it's not really our fault because that's all we had to tune on. But that just goes to show you really need an aftermarket wideband if you're going to be tuning this car, or even if you take it to someone who's going to tune it for you. So here we go. So I'm going to pull up the laptop right now. I'm going to show you guys how it is, but we got it all cleaned up. It works. Also, before you turn it on, do not put it back together, man. I know it's tempting to put it back together, but you definitely don't want to do that. I had it turned on. I also plugged in my laptop to make sure it was reading correctly, and that my that ROM rater was picking up the signal from the gauge. So for a second I thought it wasn't, but just make sure that when you tighten down the ground and the serial connector, that you're really, like, you got it tight. Don't strip it, but you got it nice and snug where it's like it's tight to turn. Once it's like that, you're good. Because it was on there, it wasn't falling out, but it wasn't reading, and then I went to go tighten the ground a little bit more to where it got super snug, and then it was reading everything correctly. So if you buy one of these sensors off of Amazon and that's happening to you where it won't pick up, try that, tightening it up, and if that doesn't work, then you probably have a bad module inside your gauge. So I would probably send that back out. I wanted to make sure this was ready because it's almost about time for me to for my limit to return this. So thankfully it all works. And then yeah, so let's go ahead, let's grab the laptop and let's get to it. Psych. I played myself. My laptop's actually dead. Fuck. Well, it's all good. I mean, you can see it works, and I told you guys it works. It's I'm going to be doing a video of me actually like retuning, because I found a program that will actually let you, that it just makes it way easier to rescale your math than using like what's built in a ROM rater, and also then doing it like how you would, where you would get the histograph table up, and then you would set up your AFR error, and then your total trim, and then you figuring out like that. This right here, it's going to be the easiest way. It's a program. You drive on the freeway for 30 minutes. You drive around town for 30 minutes. You drive in a parking lot, an empty parking lot, for 15 minutes. You grab those logs, you upload it, you retune your math, and then you put it in the program, it will spit out a perfectly good closed loop section. Then you do like a bunch of open loop ramp runs. You plug all those in, it'll spit out an open loop, and then you can also merge them together. It has a merging section to where it'll make it smooth for you. And then once you do that, you're set. So since I got this new tuning software, I'll be able to use speed density. And the cool thing about the program is it can build you a volumetric efficiency table based off of your math. And that's just amazing. You just have to make sure your math is literally like A1. But once you got it, you're good. So that's honestly like, it's crazy to me, and I'm really excited for that. I already have a volumetric table. Apparently it's pretty close. But with that program, you can also use your already made volumetric table, and it will edit it even further just with your logs of your ramp runs and your cruising and everything. So I can't wait to show you guys that. That might be the next video. I was kind of thinking of doing my flex fuel setup on the next video, because there you go, just spoiled it. I have a flex fuel kit that I'm going to be putting in here, and I'll be showing you guys that works on the tuning program that I have. And anyway, enough yapping. That's where I'm going to end the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said earlier, you know, anything helps with the likes or the subscribing, or if you want to go on Patreon. If you got any tuning questions, hit me up on Patreon. I will gladly help you. I got a Discord channel all made for you guys, for my community. So go ahead, hop in there, talk it up. We're coming back, swinging harder than ever. Sorry that I was gone for so long again, but we're back. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.
It's a fresh dream.